I messed up.
What'd you do?
I thought I could win a lot of money last night.
Oh no, you did not gamble again. You were supposed to not be gambling with the New Year's resolution. How much did you lose?
Mom, What?
How much did you lose?
25.
You lost $25,000? Do you know?
No, not 20. No, it wasn't 25,000.
2,500? That's still a lot of money, Derek. You know.
Mom, it was $25. It was dollars, but it was a 14-leg parlay. It could have won me 34 grand, and I was one away. I picked the money line. I shouldn't have picked the money line.
So let me be clear on this. You only lost $25. $25.
Mom, it's not about what I lost. It's about what I didn't win.
Derek, stop your damn whining. Go home and relax. This is ridiculous.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. In light of mass layoffs, ghost jobs, the rising cost of living, inflation, and other economic metrics that have a tangible effect on people's lives, it's no wonder that in recent years, there's been a global scourge in online gambling and gambling addictions in general. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the effects that these addictions and gambling has had on communities and people at large. So, without further ado, let's jump straight into it.
Oh shit, bro. You just won $1 billion from the lotto, bro. What you gonna do with it?
$1 billion parlay.
Bro, what you mean, bro? We already got money now. Like, we don't have to do that.
It was never about the money.
Yo, please don't do that shit, dog. Like, come on, you can help everybody.
You would understand.
Yo, my nigga, please don't do that shit.
He's $300,000 in debt on credit cards. His wife just found out, and it's all sports betting, which is probably the fastest growing addictive problem that we're running into in the money world right now.
That's right.
Out of control sports betting. You can bet on whether they're going to dance backwards or forwards after a touchdown. You can bet on anything, right? Mm-hmm. And they are betting on everything, and it's out of control. Some of you are losing your entire futures to betting on watching someone else earn a living.
You stop gambling, you can come back. And I couldn't stop Dodge.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I couldn't stop. I was full on, full tilt at it. Yeah. So we had a meeting a few months later. So they paid me on full pay for 6 months, which they didn't need to do. Yeah. I had to leave in the end.
Had to or wanted to?
Had to. Gross misconduct. I couldn't stay. I brought the business into disrepute.
Yeah.
But my focus was just how am I going to carry on gambling. Wow. And I was even lying to my mum saying I've still got my job, but they're giving me a few months off just to sort my stuff out. It was almost like my life's come to an end. That's how I felt. Now, a lot of people who I know who have had problems with gambling over the years have been suicidal or have tried to take their own life. Yeah. I didn't get to that stage, but I went through some very, very dark times.
Look, I get the thrill and the draw of gambling in and of itself. However, I guess you could say that I'm risk averse in the sense that I don't like losing money. But I understand people that find themselves in this repetitive loop and the trap that is the gambling industry. Based on promises of extraordinary wealth, clearing your debts, and being financially free, I can see how people are drawn into this toxic environment of false hope and empty promises. However, there's one phrase that has stuck with me from a very young age, which I guess sort of kept me in line and made me understand that the odds are always stacked against me. And that expression is, the house always wins. In every scenario where there are odds placed against things happening and someone's taking on the wager against you, it's almost always the case that the person that's taking that bet is taking it because they know that they have an edge against you. So with that in mind, I personally struggle to put myself in the position of somebody that has this addiction. However, I do understand how addictions work. And this particular addiction is almost the worst that there is, although they're all pretty bad. Can you imagine gambling away your paycheck, losing everything, having no money for a number of days before you get paid again, only to do the same thing again because you're trying to dig yourself out of this hole that you've dug yourself into to begin with? Well, the only reasonable bit of advice that I would give to a person in that situation is stop digging.
Probably spent like 100 racks
before I even knew it on gambling, bro. And I made a lot of money. I used to go to casinos with my brethrens, and knowing that, like, as a Muslim, this is so haram and this is so bad, that's what was killing me. And then I looked at my parents and I was like, you lot don't deserve this. You lot are the people that don't give up on me. Like, you know, it's like I'm pushing my family away because I'm like, I'm not worth you lot. And then my parents are like, no, you are, like, come back and whatever. And I remember that's when I went to go and pray. And I've said this many times. The day I prayed on that mat and I was in tears and I was like, Allah, take away everything that I have in my life. Just give me this so me and my parents can be good, yeah. That's why I'm in this position right now. And that's why I always say to people, that this is not something someone can take away from me. This is God-given, bro. I prayed for this.
How much have you guys lost at the casino recently? Just how much?
I lost 2,000.
I probably lost like 500.
Lotto tickets are probably 3,000.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
No, my.
I mean, he wins sometimes.
I do.
He doesn't make it back.
Not yet.
I'm gonna actually. Okay. Don't end it. Oh, you have no idea.
I think it's good. We can keep it going.
You don't have to. What is good?
Good that I'm hearing all this and digesting and listening to it. I mean, it was only like $100 or $200 a month on lotto tickets.
It's frightening how much money gamblers spend on gambling. I mean, something even as innocuous as lotto tickets is a gamble. And again, another one of these phrases that have been thrown around that I've heard my entire life. Lotto tickets or gambling or the lottery is like a tax on poor people, because if you've got money like that, there's no point in playing the lottery. People end up spending an inordinate amount of money on buying lottery tickets every month, whereas you'll find that a lot of these people are behind on bills to begin with, yet somehow they have the money to be gambling on a month-to-month basis. Make it make sense. I guess that's how they find themselves on Caleb Hammer's show, asking for financial assistance and advice.
What was the moment you realized you needed to get your life in order? Realized I spent 3 hours online gambling in my work bathroom and we closed an hour ago.
Bro, I hear gambling's an addiction. It's an addiction. Don't look at me like that.
You know my horror stories, bro. You've been present at some of them. When I'm in a casino sometimes, I become a different person. I could win, let's say, 5 bills on something. I'll say, hold 3. No matter what, don't give me that 3. Fam, I'll be at your ankles. Run me the 3.
Yeah.
Run me the 3 or we're not leaving.
Yeah.
Because it's my money regardless. I know what I told you 5 minutes ago, but it's my money regardless. Run me my money. You're not my bank.
Do you have a gambling problem?
No, I enjoy it. It's a hobby. If I had a problem, I'd be starving. I'd be hawking this watch. My championship rings, I would sell my house. I would do this. My wife had left me, or she'd be starving. My kids would be starving. I do not have a problem. I enjoy gambling.
According to Olamera, you have spent 1.1 trillion rand on gambling alone. Gambling. Hi guys, I mustn't say that South Africa does not have money. How do we spend 1.1 trillion on gambling alone in 2024? Surely that's schools and hospitals. This is money coming out of you and me, by the way. This is not government money. This is money coming out of ordinary South Africans to finance one company boss. One company boss is on a private jet to Switzerland right now to go skiing in whatever because of your 1.1 trillion rand contribution.
I do understand the thought process behind why a society, a country, or a people, especially those that are deeply entrenched in poverty, would turn to gambling. Because it's a game of chance, or it's games of chance that give you the illusion of the possibility that you might win. I guess it comes with a little bit of knowledge and reading and exposure that people will soon realize that, hang on, the odds are actually stacked against you.
I've got something so cool to share with you guys. And it's easily one of my top 5 moments ever since I've been on this app. Now, the other day I posted this video over here. Now, in that video, pointed out that Betway had started advertising at Home Affairs, and a lot of you agreed with me that that was incredibly distasteful. But a literal member of parliament saw it and agreed with us. Mr. Makash Legana saw my video and said, "Not today, bro." And this was a series of events that played out from then.
Makash Legana, Rights and Science Member of Parliament. So I saw this video from Julian here on TikTok. The next step for me is to ask the Minister of Home Affairs, being the custodian of Home Affairs offices, to understand how prevalent is Betway advertising.
The board has undertaken a review of recent gambling and betting advertising campaigns in light of the National Gambling Act and the National Gambling Regulations. The findings indicate that a number of the current advertising and marketing practices by gambling operators do not fully comply with the legislative and regulatory framework.
On the plus side, that story did have a happy ending. From what I understand, all the advertisements inside Home Affairs buildings have been removed, so that predatory practice has been done away with. But to think that it was there to begin with is absolutely reprehensible. I'm shocked that someone got away with it for the duration that they did to begin with. And to the gamblers, you might not have realized it just as yet, but the TikTok community here in South Africa did actually save your lives. It doesn't quite end there. I've dedicated the end of this video to one particular offender in the gambling universe that is so egregious, so atrocious, so undeniably, irrevocably diabolical that it's wreaked havoc not only here in South Africa, but throughout the African continent at large. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Aviator.
You probably know Aviator as that betting game where Red Plane promises to turn you into a millionaire. But what you don't know is that Aviator has become Africa's most devastating digital epidemic, leaving behind a trail of bankruptcies, suicides, and shattered dreams. Its primary function is simple: extract money from disparate young men, promise joy but leave you broke, bitter, and blaming everyone but yourself, just like Caliph Cairo. Millions of Kenyans think that Aviator is the ticket out of poverty, when in reality, it's a psychological slot machine that was literally designed to drain their wallets.
Before we delve any deeper into this clip, this video comes from the channel Found in Africa, and it's titled The Evil Business of the Aviator Game. Just as a side note, this is some great editing, wonderful storytelling, really top tier African YouTube production. Shout out to those guys. They make me really proud to be African watching this.
Every disaster has an origin story. Aviator does not begin in Kenya, where it's currently destroying lives. The story begins in Georgia, a country most people cannot find in a map. January 15th, 2019, Tbilisi, Georgia. Deep inside the Caucasus Mountain, a businessman called Teimuraz Yuglava had an idea. Ordinary casino games weren't enough for Yuglava. Bankrupting people slowly just didn't cut it for him. He wanted something faster, something viral. Enter Aviator, a game so simple that even your mom in Shags could understand it. And the sad part, she will later fall among the countless victims. The concept behind Aviator is a plane takes off, a multiplier increases, and you cash out before it flies away. This was revolutionary, if revolutionary means taking someone's money repeatedly. February 5th, 2019, just weeks after launch, the global betting giant Flutter Entertainment acquired Yuglava's company Ajarabet. But in their rush to close the deal, they forgot to secure the rights to the Aviator brand. This oversight would later explode into a $330 million legal dispute, but at that time, it simply meant Pribe, a small Estonian company, was free to spread this digital plague globally, and spread it did.
And spread it they did indeed. Aviator has gotten so bad that I recently came across a post on Facebook. I can't seem to find it right now, but I'd love to produce it as proof, so you'll just have to take my word for it, of an old granny, a magogo, that got paid out from insurance, something to the tune of 100,000 rand. Her young grandson, in his late teens, early 20s, somehow managed to get a hold of her bank card, and in his infinite youthful wisdom decided he's going to take money from grandma's account bit by bit and play Aviator and other gambling games on like Betway or whatever gambling app that he used. Long story short, This young man cleared out 100,000 Rand from grandma's money because he thought he can flip the money into something extraordinary. So with that, let me leave you with this last lady to give you guys some cautionary wisdom so you also don't get caught up in this aviator and online gambling ecosystem.
Aviator is going to destroy your life. Gambling is going to destroy your life. Chomi, I know that you're getting paid tonight. Some of you are getting paid tomorrow. It is the 25th. Don't even think of depositing money into any of these gambling apps. Stay away from gambling. Stay away from aviator. If you want to live a peaceful life, if you want to live a debt-free life, stay away from gambling. Gambling is going to make your life worse. You are going to be miserable.
All right, guys, that's it from me for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you gamble? Have you ever? Do you have even the slightest interest in partaking? If you have, what effects have those gambling activities had on you and your family or community at large? I'd love to know in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, hit the like button because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Hit the subscribe button because I'm still trying to run these numbers up and get to my goal of 1,000 subs. Thanks for watching. Peace.